I am the mid-grid masochist. Welcome. I have a story to tell you. This one comes from r/nosleep on Reddit. It is called I Wake Up in a Different Reality Every Time I Sleep. Let's dive in. I don't know where else to post this. Maybe I just need to get it all down before I lose my mind. Or maybe, just maybe, someone out there is going through the same thing. I don't know when it started. The first time I noticed something was off, it was small. Tiny details I could ignore if I tried hard enough. Like how my favorite brand of cereal had a slightly different logo, or how my coworker's last name changed overnight. At first, I figured it was just misremembering things. We all do it, right? The Mandela effect. The brain plays tricks, making us swear something was different than it actually was. I shrugged it off. But it kept happening. Every time I went to sleep, the world around me changed. It was obvious at first, just enough to make me doubt myself. The streets in my neighborhood weren't quite in the right place. A movie I had seen before suddenly didn't exist. My mom's birthday moved a day. Still, I didn't panic. I figured I was just stressed, or maybe my sleep was being affected by something. I made excuses, tried to rationalize, until the day I woke up and found my brother sitting on my couch, controller in hand, playing Call of Duty like he used to. My brother has been dead for 6 years. I froze. I couldn't breathe. I just stood there, watching him, waiting for my brain to catch up and make sense of what I was seeing. "Yo," he said, without looking up. "Finally up. You were out cold, man." My stomach twisted. My brother had died in a car accident when I was 20. I went to his funeral. I saw his body in the casket. I grieved for him. And yet, here he was, acting like nothing had ever happened. I forced myself to speak. "Bro." That's when he finally looked at me. His brows furrowed in confusion. What? It was him. His voice, his stupid lopsided grin, the scar above his eyebrow from when he fell off his skateboard as a kid. I felt like I was going insane. I had to get out of there. I muttered something about needing air and stumbled outside, my legs barely carrying me. My hands were shaking. My breath was erratic. I leaned against a tree, trying to force my brain to work. In this world, he never got in that car accident. Maybe I never called him that night. Maybe something I'd done in my original world changed. And that one tiny thing was enough to keep him alive. That was when I knew for sure this just wasn't in my head. I was shifting realities. After that, the changes became more drastic. One morning, I woke up and saw a notification pop up on my phone. President Kanye West to hold emergency press conference. I thought it was a joke, a deep fake, an internet prank. But then I turned on the news. There he was, at the White House, talking about foreign policy like it was just another day. The next time, the moon was gone. I didn't mean it was hidden behind clouds. I meant it literally did not exist. I asked people about it, and they looked at me like I was crazy. The tide still moved, the nights were still dark, but no one remembered there ever being a moon in the sky. I tried to figure it out. I started keeping a journal, writing down everything I could to remember before I went to sleep. I experimented, stayed up for days at a time, used caffeine to keep myself awake, but it never mattered. The moment I finally gave in to exhaustion and slept, I woke up somewhere new. No matter what I did, I couldn't stay in one place. Then, just as I was starting to accept my fate, things got worse. It started following me. I first noticed it in a reality that seemed almost normal. The only difference I could find was that the traffic lights were blue instead of red and green. That was it. No dead brothers, no missing moon, just blue traffic lights. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw it. It was tall, too tall. Its body twisted in ways that made my stomach turn. It didn't have a face, at least not one that made sense to my brain. Every time I blinked, it seemed to shift, like it was bound by the same laws of reality as everything else. No one else saw it. I tested it. I asked a stranger if they saw anything weird standing at the end of the street. They just looked at me funny and walked away. That's when I knew, whatever it was here for me. The next time I fell asleep, I woke up in a new reality. And it was there. It doesn't speak, it doesn't run, it just stands there, watching. Always just far enough away that I can't pretend I'm imagining it, but I know better. Every single time I shift, it finds me again. I don't know what it wants. Maybe it's hunting me. Maybe it's the will of the universe itself sent to fix the mistake of me. Because let's be honest, something like this isn't supposed to happen. I shouldn't be slipping between worlds like a glitch in a broken video game. I've been using my ability to run. Every time I see it, I force myself to sleep, hoping that I'll land somewhere safe. But the truth is, I don't think I'll ever find a safe place. I don't think I can keep running forever. Eventually, I'm going to wake up in a world that kills me first. Or the thing, whatever it is, will finally catch me. And the worst part? I have no reason to believe there's a reality out there with the answers I need. I've already accepted I'm never going home. So I'm posting this here because maybe someone else has seen the signs. Maybe you've noticed little changes, things you can't quite explain. If you have, don't ignore them. I'm going to sleep now. I just hope wherever I wake up next isn't worse than here. Well, it's pretty deep. I can somewhat relate to the story. I had a recent situation where I was at a nephew's birthday party, and I remember candles being put into his cake, and then I seen them being taken out, and I was like, why are you doing that? My sister just put those in there. And my brother-in-law was like looking at me strange, and then I realized that happy birthday was already sang, and they were getting ready to cut the cake. And I kind of felt embarrassed a little bit. And it was like a lapse of time, a lapse of a memory, even though it just happened. And those are the kind of ones that you really don't hide from. You're in the room, you're there. I remembered after, but during that moment in time, I was almost angry. Like, why are you pulling those candles out? She just put them in there and we're about to sing happy birthday. So it kind of leads me back to this, and reality is a funny thing. It really is. Or reality is, you know. But I am the mid-grid masochist, and I appreciate you joining me for this story. If you liked it, please subscribe. Please like the video, and I will continue to do more just to entertain. But I appreciate everybody that watched. Have yourself a great day.